What's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Diagnosing Doctor Who. Before we get into it, how's your week been? Mine has kind of been terrible. I'm back into complete isolation because my mum has a chest infection. I think I've broke my toe on my right foot. And my dog has been tearing my room apart because she is in heat. But there has been one bit of good news that has given me a little bit of hope and has made me feel a little bit better in this shitstorm of a week. In the past couple of days, Big Finish has announced that Christopher Eccleston, for those who don't know, he played the 9th Doctor in Doctor Who. Obviously, this is Diagnosing Doctor Who. Big Finish have announced that Christopher Eccleston is going to be returning for some stories. And for anyone who doesn't know, Big Finish is a company that do BBC audio stories. They've done audio stories for Doctor Who, Torchwood, Sarah Jane Adventures. They basically add to the lore of Doctor Who of episodes and things that you don't get to see in the series because there's only a limited amount of visual episodes that they can do in a series. It's the same as the BBC book lore. There's like loads of different stories written in BBC fictional books and they are all technically canon, but whether you accept them as canon or not, that is more of a personal preference. I haven't listened to any audio stories just yet. It's one of those things that's been constantly recommended to me, but I've never gotten the chance to actually getting around to sitting down and listening to one. But I hear that a lot of them are very good. Obviously there's some shit ones, there's some amazing ones. Anything is like that. It's the same with the actual visual episodes that they've been putting on. Some are good, some are terrible, mostly terrible now. But today I don't want to talk about terrible ones, I want to talk about Christopher Eccleston's era on the show. Christopher Eccleston's stint on Doctor Who was very short. And because of that, a lot of people choose to skip him, mainly because David Tennant became such an icon for the show. He was the one that that everyone kind of, well, fell in love with, really. I personally don't think Christopher Eccleston had enough time on the show to really blossom into something that people could love, but because David Tennant was there a lot longer, he became like the image, and it was kind of like Christopher Eccleston's one series fell by the wayside, and I that really upsets me. And there are many reasons for that, and because this news from Big Finish has come out, I wanted to make a video talking about the importance of Christopher Eccleston's era on the show and why you should watch it. In many regards, Christopher Eccleston's era on the show is my favourite series of New Who. For me, there is very little shit episodes, and I mean that in a way that every series has shit episodes. I mean, even in Christopher Eccleston's era, they repeated the Slitheen, like they had the Slitheen come back even after doing a double parter with them. A Slitheen came back at the end of the series, but even then that episode is really enjoyable, and Christopher's Doctor's dynamic with Rose and Jack and Mickey makes that episode and really their dynamic is what made series 1. We have to remember that Christopher Eccleston's series on the show is when the Doctor has just come back from the Time War, and we see him be able to heal through his eventual relationship, whatever way you view relationship, whether it's friendship, relationship, romance, whatever, with Rose. And where Christopher Eccleston's Doctor was never like bouncy or flirty or conventionally attractive, sorry Chris, but you know what I mean, the way David Tennant's was, his Doctor was my favourite because while he could be funny and while he could joke around and stuff, the seriousness that his character carried around, you could feel the trauma and the burden that was still on his shoulders from the Time War. And I believe that Christopher Eccleston portrayed this beautifully. It really hurts me that a lot of people skip Christopher Eccleston because David Tennant is the big boy, the one that was there for ages and that everyone was attracted to, and he kissed a load of women in the series for some god unknown reason, and they just skip Eccleston because they just want to get to David Tennant already. They claim that Christopher's series isn't important, it doesn't make an impact on anything, and they claim it's not needed. And yet, I feel the complete opposite. Christopher Eccleston's era, in that one series he had, made the biggest impact on me as a Doctor Who watcher, well, in terms of New Who. Because I still get worked up when I watch Christopher's episodes. When he acts and he is the Doctor, I feel it. I tear up. No matter what it is he's talking about, whether it's when he is saying that everybody lives in the empty child, or he is consoling Rose when she is consumed with Bad Wolf from the TARDIS, it gets me. I told my friend Neve once, we were watching series 1, because we're rewatching all of Doctor Who at the minute, and we were reaching the final 2-parter of series 1, and I said, we're gonna have to stop here for now, because I have to be in the right mindset to deal with the emotions that the double-parter of series 1 gives me. I don't feel like I need to do that even with when the episodes where David Tennant regenerates, because Christopher's acting and the script and everything that he did as the 9th Doctor struck me deeper and in a different way than the way David Tennant's does. There's a lot of stuff that David Tennant's acting does that tears me up, and there's episodes that make me feel for the Doctor and everything, but never on the same level as Christopher Eccleston. Christopher Eccleston always made me feel like I had to prepare because I was going to be like emotionally like knocked in the gut when he regenerated. And that's what I call good acting. Fantastic acting. The biggest compliment word you can find, acting. It is also important to remember that if Christopher Eccleston hadn't pulled off series 1, there would have been no New Who. Rebooting Doctor Who was a gamble. It was something that Russell T Davies and Julie Gardner did as a risk. They took this risk and decided that they wanted to reboot a show that was cancelled in 1989 for low viewership, along with a lot of other complicated things that we're not going to get into here. So if Christopher Eccleston hadn't done such a good job, if him and Billie Piper had not been able to pull in the audience that they did, David Tennant would never have gotten a chance. And David Tennant has said this before himself in interviews. Christopher Eccleston does not get enough credit for what he did for our show. And yes, Christopher Eccleston left for reasons that are very ambiguous. He didn't get along apparently with the higher ups of the BBC. I've never actually looked into why he left the show in great detail. I thought he would write about it in his book, but he just sort of hinted at the fact that he didn't get along with the higher ups, which is fine. If he doesn't feel like he can talk about it, then that's his business, you know. But for whatever reason, when he left, he felt like he had to leave it completely. But the fact that he is coming back now, even if it's just for audio stories, whatever it was that made Christopher Eccleston leave, it meant that he didn't even want to come back for the 50th anniversary. The fact that he is opening up and coming back means that he is opening up and coming back to us, the fans, because for a long time he never attended conventions, he never went to Comic-Con, and he has spoken out recently about how Doctor Who fans have saved him and made him realise that his career doesn't have to be defined by those higher-ups that made him feel like he wasn't welcome. And if you've read Christopher Eccleston's book like I have, you'll know that for a very long time he was a very unwell man. Being able to read his story and know now that he's healing encourages me as a fan. Sorry about that, my memory card got full and I only have the one, so I had to empty it and then put it back in, and then I decided it wanted formatted, so it's been a while, maybe a couple hours. Anyway, the fact that Christopher Eccleston now feels comfortable enough to return to the show really encourages me, because I would highly recommend reading his book, I Love the Bones of You, because it gives you a deeper insight into his life and how he experiences acting as his art, and you learn a lot about his mental health and things that he's gone through, and it really gives you a deeper insight into what he was probably going through when he decided to leave Doctor Who and the years that followed. I would greatly consider start listening to Big Finish just to hear Christopher Eccleston's return. I am that genuinely happy about him coming back and feeling like he can come back that I would definitely introduce myself to a new format of enjoying the show just to be able to experience his Doctor again. That is how much I love him and his era on the show, as short as it was. I could go on and on and on about how much I love Christopher Eccleston and his era on the show, but I really feel like it's something you need to experience yourself as well. So I highly recommend it. Never skip number 9. That is a mantra I tell everyone who wants to start watching the show. Never skip number 9. Well, the full mantra is never skip number 9 and stop watching after 2012, but that's a whole other bag of worms. So please, I 100% recommend watching series 1 of Doctor Who. You have to. For one thing, it's the start of the new era of the show, and to me it doesn't make sense to skip it. It's like starting halfway through a show for no reason, so don't be the weirdo that does that. And I know this is all subjective. There are some people who won't enjoy Christopher Eccleston's Doctor, and there's some people who don't feel like his series is as good as I do. And that's fine. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Everyone has different opinions in this big wide world. I say that a lot, but I feel like I need to reiterate, believe it or not, I'm just an idiot in my room. My opinion isn't the be-all, end-all in this world. I wish it was. It would make things a lot easier and make people stop arguing with me. But then the world would also be very, very boring because I'd be surrounded by me's. And that sounds actually like hell. So maybe not. Anyway guys, what do you think? Do you like Christopher Eccleston's era on the show? Don't you like Christopher Eccleston's era on the show? Are you as excited as I am that he's coming back? Let me know down below. Tell me what you think. And I'll see you next time. Follow my socials in the description below. Buy my book if you want. Don't buy it if you don't want to. I don't want you there if you don't want to be there. And I'll see you next time. Please don't skip number 9. Series 1 is the best of New Who.